Hello and welcome everybody who is watching this live training with our guest speaker, Gary Spolansky. My name is Tim Duffy. I'm the founder of Electus Society, and I'm also the co-founder of the CE5 and Spirituality group here in Port Washington. Gary Spolansky, if you're not familiar with him, he is a good friend of mine. We have worked together for many years. He is a shamanic and empathic healer. He's been doing that for over 33 years, helping transform people's lives, my life included, helping me overcome depression and helping me realize all the different emotional issues I had from childhood triggers and all this amazing things. He's also a Reiki master. He actually taught me Reiki and became a Reiki master, and occasionally we do Reiki classes together. So I consider him a good friend and colleague. He's also the author of several books. One of those books that Gary can hold up is The Power Is You, and it's actually one of the topics of today's session. So there are people who are participating live, and there's other going to be people who are going to be watching this recording. And so we're so lucky to have Gary to dedicate and volunteer his time to just share positive actions for us to become more empowered. So thank you so much, Gary. I'll let you take it away.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And thank you to everybody who's here already. And for those of you that are going to be joining us later on. It's an interesting time we live in. And I think everybody will relate to the idea that it's very stressful, it's chaotic, and at times scary. And it's not just the political news, the wars, and anything else. It's also another subject, AI. And where AI can have its positive benefits, it also has negative benefits. One of the greatest, in my mind, is the potentiality of taking away our creativity, our insights, and our intuition, becoming dependent on machinery. Now, depending on how old you are, you're more or less likely to be influenced that way. As an example, kids, younger people who are into gaming, who hear about, say, Elon Musk's idea for a Neuralink, where they can actually play their games and do other things on the computer through a neural link. So they just think it and it happens, which is kind of scary because what about learning how to listen to yourself, trust your own judgment, be creative because that's who you are. So when I thought about that, I was kind of looking how to shape my thoughts for this talk. And then another thing happened over the weekend, which really got me. I was with a bunch of friends. We were having dinner, and they tend to be a spiritual group. They're European, so they have a different kind of way of looking at things than we here in the States, those of us who have been born here. And one of the interesting things that happened was this one woman who tends to be spiritual and strong was feeling very unhappy, scared, and lacking hope. It was so bad that I actually had lectured her in a kind way, saying, "You can't give up hope. If you give up hope, we're lost." And this was tied into the idea that, again, the political situation, these egotistic people who run our government and other governments around the world. And I just didn't like where it was going. In my world, I'm an optimist. And when I think about the world, I see change, but I see change positive, that we're moving into a higher, more awakened state. But in order to do so, we have to work through the debris. We have to work through the chaos and the feelings of inadequacy that are within us. As we free ourselves, we become more awakened, more enlightened, and more able to be the people that we really know ourselves to be. So the program tonight is going to be introducing several different tools that can help you more frequently, more easily, more effectively let go of what's holding you back. And like I do in all my programs, I'd like this to be interactive. So yes, I'm going to lead, but I offer to everybody, feel free to ask a question. There are no silly questions and no dumb questions. Every question that's asked It likely is someone else wanted to ask the same question. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to work with me on that, and let's see where this goes. So everybody agree? That's good? All right, great. So here's what we're going to start off with. And I have a list here so I make sure I don't forget what I want. The first thing is a simple breathing technique that can actually ground you in a couple of minutes or less. Actually, I should say it's 3 minutes or less. And I'm going to explain about it. This is actually drawn from the company called HeartMath. Now, maybe some of you have heard of it. HeartMath has been studying not only how our hearts work from an energetic point of view, but they've done it through scientific measuring. And they've come up with a technique called coherence. Simply put, coherence is bringing order to chaos. And that's the idea. When we get excited, emotional, caught up in things, stressed, our energy becomes chaotic. And when you calm down, it becomes more coherent. This particular technique combines two things. One, a simple breathing technique, but then a unique twist that changes it and makes it far more effective. So, the simple breathing technique is this: your choice. You can breathe in for a count of, say, 5 or 6, and breathe out for a count of, say, 6 or 7. So, whatever you breathe in, you breathe out one more beat than you breathe in. Okay, got a little tongue tied there. Now, the idea is you do that for, say, a couple of minutes. And what happens is you find yourself starting to calm down. And that's really positive, it's effective, and can actually really help to center and ground you. But we're going to take it one step further. And that one step further is to bring in a feeling. And the feeling that we're going to bring in is gratitude. And the reason for gratitude is that it's a kind of feeling that brings the body, the heart, into alignment with you so that the breathing calms you down, but that's a mental exercise. When you get used to being in that feeling of gratitude, it becomes a more complete, more comprehensive feeling. The addition to that is that when you bring in that gratitude, one of the big benefits is your intuition opens up, your empathy opens up, and much, much more importantly, as I've learned as I've been playing with this, it stays with you. You find yourself more compassionate naturally. You find yourself more willing to let things be the way they are, to hear people from their point of view. You're not as quick to judge. And it's really been quite fascinating for me because I've been doing this work for so very long, but it's a really nice touch or approach, I should say. So I'd like to ask you to join me in this exercise. And the way we're going to do it, we're going to do the breathing in for a count of 5 and the breathing out for a count of 6. If you feel comfortable and you want to do a count of 6 in and a count of 7 out, that's fine. But we're going to do that for, we'll do about a minute because considering the time, I don't want to tie us up too long. And then we're going to add the gratitude feeling and see what we experience. Everybody good with that? Okay. All right. So now, everybody just close your eyes and breathe in for a count of 5 or 6. Now breathe out for a count of 6 or 7. Let's do it again. Breathe in for a count of 5 or 6. And breathe out for a count of 6 or 7. And again. Again, breathe in for a count of 5. Breathe out for a count of 6. And one more time. Breathe in for a count of 5 or 6. And a count out for a count of 6 or 7. Now, in this space, I'd like you to think of something you have true gratitude for. Just allow yourself to remember the experience or the feeling and allow that energy just to fill you. Okay. Okay, and now when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How did that feel? Were you able to feel a change in your energy, in your body?
Well, I unmuted myself. Gary, I felt more relaxed and like calm, almost like a little bit kind of sleepy. And
Mm-hmm.
and when I was starting to feel gratitude, like I felt one about gratitude for something and I started thinking about gratitude for a bunch of other things. You know?
And did it give you a good, happy feeling inside?
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, I felt like calm, relaxed, sleepy, like I'm ready for my nap now.
Anybody else have a comment? Okay. Yeah,
Betty,
Betty?
you can unmute yourself.
Mm.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
I said I was trying to think of just one thing I was grateful for, one small thing, and I felt a lot better.
That's wonderful. Because what this does is, as I said, it creates heart coherence. And there's one more step that I'm going to just show you now how to do it. After you think gratitude, take your hand, put it up here on your third eye, your finger rather, okay? And then bring it to whatever feels natural at your heart level. Okay, so whatever area by your heart feels right, just bring your hand there. Okay, now when you've done that, your consciousness actually shifts from your head into your heart.
Mm.
And when you do that, that's when you're in the true coherence. And the beauty of the coherence is when you're under a lot of stress, when you're afraid or agitated or what have you, it causes your heart to work harder. We know this. It produces cortisol, which is a stress hormone. It really, actually, over a long period of time, changes your biological age from what you could be to older than you are. So, by practicing this simple technique, you can help to balance yourself out, stay more grounded, focused, and empathetic, and also reverse your biological age. So, that's a pretty interesting thing. I want to expand for just a moment on this, why this happens. And maybe you guys know this, maybe you don't. But we always think of the brain as running the body. But were you aware that the heart has a very, very small area in it made up of 40,000 neuron cells? These neurons actually create a heart in the heart, meaning that, I'm sorry, a brain in the heart. What that means is that when we think the brain runs the body, no, the emotions, the feelings, the experiences, although remembered and accessed by the brain, actually sit in the heart. And so when we work later, or actually just a little bit, with clearing, part of that clearing is going to happen by releasing tension in the heart. It's going to be kind of fun. Okay. And there's much, much more to this than I can get into now, but I just want to give you a little insight. And if you'd like to learn more about this particular technique, go to the Heart Math website. They do a really good job. And I think, normally I like to promote things that I've learned and done myself, and this is one of them, but they're the experts in it. So I offer that to you and, see what you think. Okay? Yes, Tim.
Gary, quick question. So, whenever we do this activity of doing the breaths, the five, and then the six out, and then once we do that, then we think of the gratitude afterwards, after
Yes.
doing it 4 times, and then you did us to have us touch our forehead and touch our heart. Is that also part of that, or is that something separate? And when should we do that?
It's both. It's part of it, although it works individually. The idea, after you've done gratitude, then you just take I like to use my finger, but you could use your hand, and just bring it down wherever it feels natural to land in your heart area. And what it does is it brings your consciousness from your head into the heart area. And so that gives it a more centered, more unified feeling.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, the more you practice this, I think the more you're going to find that you are going to be in a calmer, happier place. You'll deal with things more effectively. And, if you wish, let me know what experiences you've had. That'd be really cool to hear.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Again, I'm respectful of time, so I'm going to move on to the next technique. This is something I've thought about how to do, and I'm going to try it. This technique involves the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve runs from the head throughout all the organs, down the two sides of the neck, and it has about what was the number? I just want to check my facts. This has about 200,000, sorry. Yeah, 200,000 nerve fibers running to each of the major organs. And what the beauty of the vagus nerve is it's what we did with the breathing exercise before. It helps to calm the body, but it's not just breath that makes it work. It's sound, vibration that actually brings healing and calmness. And interestingly, when you do this, it's yet another way to bring coherence to the mind-body energy systems. And what I thought to do with this is that I'll explain a little bit more what I'm talking about. And then I thought I would do a particular healing on each of you to see what you felt. All right. So when I do my shamanic work, when I'm working with clients privately, there are a couple of things that go on. One, I'm talking and they're talking, and I get an idea of what they're looking for, what they need help with. Once we understand that, once we're there, I ask them to connect with the feeling. And in that feeling, what happens is I feel it empathetically, and I start drawing that energy into me. The way I draw that energy into me is that I allow the feelings that they have to come into my energetic body, and then through my voice, I release them in tones, I release it in sounds, whatever energy feels appropriate to me, whatever form feels appropriate. Because the vagus nerve responds to sound, it responds to energy. What I'm looking to do now is use my voice to show you how it works and to say to you, you too can do this. Not necessarily the way I do it, but you can do it either with humming, with holding a musical tone, with singing, and other variations that might be appropriate for you. But those are the major ones. So what I'd like to ask is for a volunteer to experience this. Anybody want to volunteer? Betty. Okay, you're on. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, where are you now? Meaning energetically, within yourself. Are you calm? Are you happy? Do you have stuff going on? What's happening for you?
I'm calm.
Okay. Do you have anything that needs to be moved, such as a stress, a fear, a doubt, something you've been dealing with? Or do you feel any place in your physical body where it doesn't feel right, like it's tight or tense?
Mm, not a specific place.
Okay. But is
A
there anything?
worry. I have a worry. Yeah.
You're a worrier?
I have a worry. Yes.
Okay. And when you think of that worry, what part of your body is affected?
Mm, I don't know, my chest maybe.
Okay. All right. If you can, put your hand in the approximate area where you're feeling it. Okay, good. Now, actually, I'm going to have you do this. Yeah, I'm going to make a tone, and I want you to tell me once I finish how that feels. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, take my hand off. Take my hand
No,
off.
you can leave your hand there
Okay.
because, okay. So first I'm going to do it, then I'm going to ask you to do it with me.
Okay.
All right.
Very well.
Now, and I want to make an important point. Betty, you're where? Where's your physical location?
I'm in New Rochelle,
Perfect.
New
Okay.
York.
So it's a long distance from me. I'm in Westbury, New York. So
Oh,
you're at least a half hour by car, if not more.
right.
Okay. Okay. So here we go. What did you feel from that?
Yeah.
What did you feel from that? Any sensations, any feelings in your body?
I like ease, a little bit of ease.
Okay, good, good. Does it feel like that sense of worry is still there?
Um, I think it's in the background.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do this time is you're going to make the sound. You're going to make a tone that vibrates in that area, and then I'm going to do the same thing.
Okay.
All right. So you
Okay.
start, make a tone that vibrates in that area, okay, and just see how it feels.
Um,
Yeah, any tone that feels right. Don't worry about it.
can I hum?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Just keep it going. That's it. Now, keep the make the sound audible. That's it. All right. How does it feel when you do that?
It feels good actually. It feels a little like oh man, I feel kind of weird. So in my previous like job, I used to go to the bathroom and do that sometimes. And it reminded me of how good that felt.
Perfect. Oh, you're perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to hear because what you just showed is something we can all do. we can soothe ourselves through tones, through humming, through singing, or a steady tone like I did. Okay. And the idea is that when you do that, you can clear stagnant energy, you can clear blockages, you can clear fear. I do this professionally, so I'm very, very practiced at it, but each of you can do this for yourselves whenever you wish. Okay. Now, how do you feel good now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do one more. And what I want you to do with me, I want you to I want you to hum the way you were. And I'm going to do a little deeper clearing just to give you the full effect. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So just hum again, the same way you did.
Right. Mm,
Oh, keep going.
mm,
Oh. Oh, oh,
mm,
oh.
mm.
Did that feel any different this time?
I did. I felt like a baby getting hugged. I felt so.
Good, good, good. What I was doing, the tones were different this time because you had helped me to open it up. And I was able to do what sounded like a scale, up and down, up and down. So the tones I was creating were clearing you and your energy system up and down, up and down, promoting calmness, centering, coherence. So this technique was meant to show how I could do, I could do a healing from a long distance, and at the same time, how you could use the technique to help yourself when you're not working with me. All right. So it is honestly the way I just did it is different than I've done in the past, but it worked out pretty well, and I appreciate that you got the benefit that you did. Thanks for helping.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Any questions? Anything anybody wants to know before I move on?
I just wanted to share, Gary, that your humming,
Mhm.
like I had an effect on me, right? And
Isn't it?
yeah, so and my only question is, well, I have a comment then a question. My wife pointed this out to me that sometimes when we're having difficult conversations, I'll be humming and I'm not even aware of it. So what is that about? And she actually went swimming with one of our niece, and in the water she could hear her niece humming while swimming. So it's like I wonder how much we do this and self-soothe and not even know about it. And that was my comment. And my question was, how do we know what tones to say, or because like you sounded like an opera singer, doing deep low, or if you should do it high, like, so what guidance can you give for people to start these tones to help them?
Best guidance I can give you is simply feel it. Don't think, feel. Okay? Because it's not intellect. I don't do this by intellect. I feel the energies coming into me. And as those energies come into me, I just express it in whatever tone feels appropriate. And, granted, I've been doing this for a very long time, so I'm very, very practiced at it. But as long as you feel it, that's all that matters. When anybody sits there and goes, here's a song they like, and it just comes up periodically, and you say, oh, and you start humming it. Well, that's the same thing. It's just a natural, intuitive feel for what belongs there. And definitely do not overthink it. Okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, Gary.
All right, you're welcome. All right. Anybody else?
Sorry,
All right.
my video turned off.
Oh, okay. All right,
I
but
don't
we
know.
hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to the next technique, and that is it's in the same line as the things we've been talking about. And this is about gratitude. And it's a funny thing. I'll use myself as the example. I like anyone else, feel gratitude about different things. But I remember hearing that, if you practice gratitude, it helps you to heal, it helps you to open up, it helps you to appreciate life more. But I was always saying, how do you apply gratitude? Because it's not something that I can always feel, depending on what's going on, where I'm at, who I'm dealing with, et cetera, et cetera. And then a while back, I guess, yeah, I'd say it was about 15 years ago or so, I came across a universal symbol for gratitude. It is amazing. And I want to show you a picture of it so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So let me just pull this up here. There we go. And I hope everybody could see this. Okay, Tim, is it coming through?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This symbol is a universal symbol for gratitude. And what's unique about it? It's simple to draw, and you can use it in a multitude of ways. So, first, let me show you how it's drawn. Watching the image, I'm looking at it reverse, so bear with me. But you start at the bottom, you make one complete circle, and then another circle, almost like a bullseye inside of it. And when you do that, you are actively intending gratitude to go wherever you direct it. And it just occurred to me. So I'm going to try something. Going to make it again. I'm directing it to everybody. I just want to see if you feel anything. Okay. Now, did anybody feel anything from that, or are you feeling anything? Tim, you're feeling.
I did.
Okay, great. Betty? Okay,
I felt some calmness.
good. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, Keely? Okay, her audio's off. But is the
Not
Zoom
not
muted?
really.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
And I'm trying to draw it, but I don't know.
That's okay, because the next thing I'm going to tell you is that it doesn't matter. Symbols are representations. Consequently, it's your intention that empowers them. So even if you screw it up royally, it's still going to work. Now, here's where it starts getting fun. The symbol can be drawn. I'm going to just list a few things. First off, over your food. Put gratitude into your food. Do it over your water or your drink. You put gratitude into the liquid. What if you have an ache, a pain, tight muscles, or what have you? Well, you can do exactly that. Make the gratitude symbol over the area that's hurting. Now, here, I'm going to show you. When I do it for me, I could do it in a very small area, or I can do as much of my body as I can get my arm around. Okay. And what I discovered is when I use this as an example at night, you go to bed and maybe you're tired, maybe your muscles ache, you had a tough workout, or it's been a hard day, or you just have aches or pains. You can make the symbol, say, over your shoulders. And I did this once because I tend to have tight shoulders, and I could honestly feel the shoulders relaxing within seconds of me doing this, as a way of when you go to sleep to relax further. You're lying there, and as best you can, if you can just do whatever part of the body you can get to, you're going to bring relaxation to it. Okay. So the key here is that this is a way not only to feel gratitude, or rather to feel gratitude, but also to experience it, not from the emotional side, but from the intellectual side. And because by doing so, it gives you a really interesting tool because it can be used anytime, any.
Gary, I think that your camera froze up.
Well,
So,
to make the gratitude
oh,
symbol.
you're back. You're back now.
Oh, okay. Was I off camera?
It got yeah, the camera froze for a second. We couldn't hear any audio, but now you're back. Continue.
Okay, great. All right. So I'm going to ask you all, I'll put the symbol back up on the screen, and I want you all to make the gratitude symbol as best you can over any part of the body that you want. Okay. And all I want to know is after you do it, after a few seconds, what you felt. So let's see. Yeah, here's the symbol. Okay. Remember, it's one big circle and then a smaller circle and a little circle inside of it. Okay. Hey, anybody want to share what they felt?
Well, I can go first, Gary. I did chose to do it over my stomach. And
Uh
so
huh.
you know me, I can be sensitive sometimes. And so it's like I did the circle and the circle in, and I just kept doing it and breathing it, and I felt, like just breathing out for some
Yeah.
reason. And
Uh
then
huh.
as I kept doing it and I did it over and over again, guess what I started to feel? More tired again and more relaxed. And as I was
Uh,
doing it like over, I was going slower and slower and slower till it's like, oh, I don't even need to do it anymore. Like I'm just relaxed. So
that's great. And the idea is you can do it as much or as little as you want. I recommend 3 to 5 times whatever you want to accomplish, but you feel it out because, again, intention is everything. So this symbol will work 100% of the time. And the only thing that can get in the way is you're too wound up to recognize it. But other than that, it's a guarantee. And it's such a great a tool to utilize. And I hope you'll play with it and have some fun with it.
cool. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's move on. Actually, honestly, I should ask, did anybody want to ask a question about this?
Feel free to
Okay.
unmute yourself if you have a question for Gary or about this or anything else.
Gary,
Yes, Ian.
where did you learn about this universal gratitude sign?
Actually, I'm glad you asked that because I haven't fully disclosed. This goes back, like I said, about 15 years, give or take. A group out on the West Coast, a woman and a husband had put together this program called the Go Gratitude Experiment. And the idea was to experience gratitude over a 42-day period. And they wrote about it and it gave examples and they gave ways to use gratitude. And I remember this is probably in 2012. There was a serious hurricane coming up the coast, and I was using the gratitude symbol among with others to temper the hurricane. And it was coming up as a category 5. And I think when it finally had landed, it was roughly a category 3. Now, of course, I can't prove that the gratitude symbol helped us calm it, but it definitely felt like there was something happening. And so ever since then, I've been using it and talking about it. So it's a little background. I actually have a book based on that program, and it gives all these different ways to use gratitude. So if you want to look for it, it should still be online. And it's simply called the Go Gratitude Experiment.
And Gary,
Thank you.
I just
You're
looked
welcome.
up the gratitude symbol like in a Google search, and that symbol does come up. There's also
Yeah.
different variations of it, but it really looks like a circle with a 9 in it. Where it's like a big circle and then a mini circle, and it closes it out.
And it almost, in some respects, it almost looks like an egg, right?
It almost looks like a what?
An egg.
I
Not the
guess.
oval shape of an egg, but sort of like where things came from.
I get it. Going back to the source. That's
Right,
pretty cool.
right. So, like I say, this is an amazingly useful tool. So I encourage you to play with it, and I further underline, you cannot do this wrong. It's only your intention that empowers it. So as long as you're going through the motions in whatever way you do, it's going to work for you. All right. All right, good. Now we're going to shift into something a little bit more serious, but important. Remember at the beginning of this program, I talked about how this woman, a friend of mine, was starting to lose hope, looking at the world situation, saying it's so bad. How can we ever really shift? How are the ideas of awakening, enlightenment, ascension actually going to happen? It seems almost counterintuitive that there's just too much difficulty, too much morass. And one of the things that people do, every one of us, myself included, is we're very, very, very hard on ourselves. And this particular exercise deals with forgiveness. Excuse me. And I'll ask you this. I know you've always heard that when you do something wrong, you should ask for forgiveness. And when someone does something wrong to you, they should ask for forgiveness. But have you ever considered the concept of asking forgiveness for yourself from yourself? It's a little bit different, right? The idea is you can never, ever forgive anybody fairly or honestly unless you feel free in yourself. So, this very simple technique incorporates your higher self. And what you're doing with it, you're thinking of something that you feel regret, remorse, shame, embarrassment, something you did that you feel bad about. And purposely for this exercise, I'm going to ask you not to get into something deep and heavy, something more superficial. And the logic behind this is that although we expect people to apologize for what they do wrong and vice versa, we all know that's not reality because many times it doesn't happen. Other times, those people are either no longer available to us to talk to offer these apologies, or they've passed on, or what have you. And then you're stuck with the feelings of, oh, if only I had, and I regret not having done this. So the way this exercise is going to work is that you're going to think of something not too heavy, but something that you feel regret over. Maybe you said something to someone you shouldn't have, or you could have said it nicer. Maybe you did something on the road. You yelled at another driver, or some other situation that you just sit there and say, "Darn, I shouldn't have done that." Okay, so I'm going to ask you all to think of something. I'll give you a moment. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, we've got a couple of thumbs up. All right. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is say this phrase. First, feel what you feel regret about. And when you feel like you are feeling it, just say these words, and you can repeat them with me. Higher self, help me forgive myself as it serves the highest good. And now, just surrender that feeling to that higher self, which is you exalted, the bigger, grander, more capable you. Just give it all up. How did it feel to do that? Can everybody feel like they're letting go of something?
Relaxing.
Relaxing, great. Betty, does it feel good?
Relief.
Relief. Okay,
Yes.
great. Keely, did you feel it?
Yeah, also relief. Mhm.
Great. Michelle, did you feel it?
Yeah, I felt lighter.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
The beauty of this is it can be used for anything that you're holding your onto. Okay. Now keep in mind, the heavier, the deeper the hurt or need for forgiveness, the more you're going to have to do this. It's not just a one and done. But when you do, what you're doing is taking away the energy you've been putting yourself down from. So, where we were talking earlier about coherence and the idea of being grounded and open and empathetic, by doing this, you're freeing yourself of regret, guilt, remorse, shame, what have you. And in doing that, you free that energy that you've been holding on to. And as you free that energy, your heart opens, your energy expands, and your awareness and connection to the grander you expands. Okay. So, this is something I've been teaching for a very long time. And if more and more people would do this, there would be less and less acting out, hurtful things done, reactions that we don't really want to do, but we do anyway. So I really see this as a very versatile tool, but like I said, it can be very, if the issue you're trying to release is very deep, it's going to need many repetitions. And this is why I use for this demonstration things that are surfacey, things that are light regrets, so that you can get a feel for what would happen. And the interesting thing, as you were doing it, I could feel the energy of each of you. And, we're separated by a fair amount of distance, but it doesn't matter because whether it's 30 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles, or many thousands of miles, it works. Do you know I had a client reach out to me from Italy to do a healing on her, and I had no trouble whatsoever. In fact, all these techniques work across distance because they're not linearly based, they're energetically based. So, as I've told people time and again, I can work any place in the world. I've even explained that because of this principle, if we had astronauts on the moon or Mars, as an example, it would be no effort on my part whatsoever to get the energy to them, to help them heal. It's really an amazing thing. And so I mentioned that not only for what I've just said, but also to perhaps expand awareness that energy is not a linear thing, it's a holistic thing. And because of that, time and space have no meaning when you work energetically in this fashion. All right. Oh, well, and I'll take it one step further with the regret. It doesn't matter if it happened yesterday, last week, or early in your life. Time has no meaning. Whatever you feel and you feel you're holding on to, it can be released. And this is one of the techniques to do it. Okay, so I hope that's helpful to you. Again, anybody want to ask anything? Okay. I'm pushing on because I'm going to try and be mindful of the hour time limit. I'm probably going to run a little over, but I'll do the best I can. All right. The next one, this is a fun one. Everyone has heard the statement, unconditional love. Did you guys know that you can project unconditional love across a distance, just like we've been doing in the previous exercise? The way you do it is from your heart. All you have to do is visualize, imagine, pretend even, or intend. I like that better. Intend Pink light, which represents unconditional love, going from your heart to wherever you direct it. Ordinarily, when we're in person, I would break us into partners, and I would have each participant send pink light to the other person, talk about their experiences, and vice versa. But what I'm going to do tonight, just to give this illustration, is I'm going to send to each of you from my heart, and all I would ask of you to do is to just receive, and afterwards, just tell us what you thought, what you felt. Okay? All right. So here we go. Here I am visualizing and intending pink light from my heart to yours. Okay. Could you folks feel that?
I felt it, Gary. My
Yeah.
my neck lost its muscles, and I just went back and relaxed.
I understand. Good. Thanks. Betty, how did that feel?
I felt great. Can you hear
Fabulous.
me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. And Keely, how about you?
Not that much.
Not that much. Okay, that's all right. But would you say you felt something?
I don't know.
You could be honest. It's okay.
I felt more the other ones, the gratitude and the.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Mhm.
totally fair. You know, sometimes it works better. It definitely works better in person, but nonetheless, that's okay.
Mhm.
So no failing on your part.
And Gary, for anybody who's watching this on this recording, they
Yes,
have the potential to feel it too, as long as they're opening themselves up to receiving it. Correct?
that's correct.
And
Yes,
there's no time and space.
that's a great observation, Tim. But yes, absolutely. This energy will be there regardless. I'm focusing on everybody who's online, but at the same time, anybody who views this should be able to feel that energy. And I imagine also if I did it longer, it'd be more obvious. Michelle, were you able to feel anything?
Yes, yeah, yes. I was honestly, I was also distracted by Bob. He's crying right next to me, so he's pulling me out of it a little.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I appreciate that you felt it.
yeah.
Great. Thank you. All right. All right. So let's see. So that is one way to give unconditional love. And you can send that to someone you care about. You could send it across a distance. It doesn't matter. The thing I would ask you to consider, though, is to be careful with it. When you're sending to somebody, don't get caught up in the emotion of sending it. Try to keep some distance. Let your heart do the work, not your emotions. And the reason for that is because if you were to let your emotions do the work, you may pick up the other person's energy, and you don't want to do that. So the easiest way is to visualize it, intend it, uh, and let the energy do its own work. You don't have to do anything to get the person to benefit. And again, I said to you, you can send it to a friend, a family member. You could send it to people you don't know, a situation, for example. All these different ways to help ease the situation. And in fact, I just remembered this story, so I'll tell you briefly. This is going back when I used to work in corporate. I was an accountant, and I was on the train coming home from the city. It was a Friday, and this was back in the days when they had bar cars on the trains. And these two kind of beefy guys were getting into an argument. And it honestly looked like they were going to start hitting each other. And I was sitting there a few seats back and I'm going, this is ridiculous. Grow up, guys. And I said to myself, wait a minute. Okay, remember who you are and what you're trying to do. So I sat there and I started sending the same pink light to them that I sent to you folks. They pushed a little bit, they made some noise, but they never raised their hands. And after, I'd say about 3-4 minutes, the whole thing passed. That was really something. I never expected it myself. I said, all right, let's see what happens. And boom, that's exactly what happened. So it's a very, very powerful energy. And if you think about it, there's only two energies in the universe, fear and love. And both those energies have many, many components. But when you conquer fear or when you release fear through love, that's all that remains. So where these two guys were angry and belligerent, it calmed them down and they backed away from an altercation that could have been honestly pretty messy. So play with it, see what you think. And as I've said all along, always reach out and ask questions if you wish, now or after the program. Tim?
Yeah, Gary, quick question.
Yeah.
We were receiving your love, sending unconditional love. You actually mentioned the word sending pink light, right?
Yes.
And so I'm just wondering for people who struggle or is one, do they need to do anything to themselves first, like sending unconditional love? And is there any imagery or feelings like in order to send that unconditional love? Like, should they think of something that they really love and care about, like to get to that feeling? But you also said, like, be careful of the feeling. So I hope that you can answer those questions.
Yeah. No, it's a great question. All right. So here's the thing for yourself. And actually, I'm really glad you brought that up because in my desire to try and stay within time, I forgot to mention this. So for yourself, one of the best things you could do is whether you're sitting, lying in bed, relaxed, imagine, visualize, intend pink light coming from your heart, expanding through your body, up through your head, down through your legs. Okay? Let that energy come through and let that soothe you because that's your own heart, your own spirit calming and soothing you. Now, let's say you want to do that, but you're not sure how to intend it or visualize it. Real easy way is to think of someone or something that you love. Example, a partner, a friend, a parent, an animal, a pet, whatever. Whatever lets you feel that connection, that's the feeling that you want to give to yourself. And when you do it on yourself, you don't have to worry. All you have to do is just let that energy flow, give it a little time, and see how you feel. And I guarantee you, particularly if you do it in bed, you're going to really like how it feels because it is very soothing and relaxing. Does that answer the question enough, Tim, or do you need more?
No, it was perfect. Betty, I think you raised her hand. Betty, did you have something to say?
Yeah. Can you think of a past love, like a pet that you no longer have?
Sure, if that gives you that feeling of closeness, warmth, caring, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay. So this is the next two tools are kind of bookends, but I'll explain this first one. And like many of the tools that I'm talking about tonight, they're in my book, The Power Is You. It's available on Amazon Kindle. I don't have hard copies anymore, but you can get it on the electronic download. And this one is called Ending the Cycle of Negative Thoughts. Now, I assume everybody's familiar with Edgar Cayce. You've at least heard of him. Cayce was considered the foremost psychic of the 20th century. And one of the things among many that he said is that words are things, thoughts are things, and that thoughts have power, and thoughts can affect people, or words can affect people, not just when they're spoken, but forever. Just think about somebody saying something to you years ago that was positive and made you feel good about yourself, or someone saying something about you or to you that was negative and made you feel bad about yourself. Well, those energies are out there permanently until they're recalled. And I developed a way to do this. And it came out of the World Trade Center collapse. Back in 9/11, when everybody was still reeling from the attacks, I was at home sitting on the porch of my house. I lived in Westbury at the time. And where I lived, the Northern State Parkway was perhaps 5 blocks from me. So I could constantly hear the din of cars traveling back and forth. But in those days after the attacks, I couldn't hear anything because the only cars that were on the road were emergency vehicles. So as I sat there on my porch, I was thinking, boy, this is really different. I wonder what this means. And as I kind of let myself go off into a light meditative state, I saw this visual. It was a dark cloud of energy coming down like a funnel from above down. And I was led to understand that these were the thoughts of humanity, the negative thoughts, the nasty thoughts, the things that were put out but never cleaned up. And then I saw another visual, and it showed me the reverse, the energy being cleared out. And I was told, this is the way you can do it. And I was given an expression, a statement that totally and effectively accomplishes this. The statement is, I ask that the energies I put out this day be converted to golden light substance to rain down on myself and all concerned as it serves the highest good. The effect of that is that whatever energy you want recalled, or rather converted to golden light substance, will be so. And golden light substance represents higher wisdom, higher love, higher thought. Consequently, it doesn't matter if you said something in anger or hurt to somebody yesterday, last week, last year, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years ago. It makes no difference whatsoever. You can still, this very moment, clean up that energy and, in essence, be a spiritual adult. So the exercise we're going to do now is just that. I'm going to have you think of a time when you said something to somebody that felt bad, and you look back on it and say, gee, I wish I never had done that, or I'm embarrassed by it, or I just feel bad about it. All right? So I'm going to ask everybody to just think of one simple thing where you had that experience. Tim.
And while we're thinking about that, can you say that phrase slowly and I'll type it
Yes.
in the chat?
Oh, okay, great. Yes. I ask that the energies I put out this day
Mm-hmm.
be converted. I'm sorry, step back on that. I put out, yeah, all right. I put out this day be converted to golden light substance to rain down on myself and all concerned. as it serves the highest good.
I get why you hesitated, because it's like what I put out this day versus all the energies that I put out be
Right.
converted to golden light.
Right. So there is room to change that to say that I put out last week or last year or from the day I was born. There are lots of ways to play it.
Okay. Got
All
it.
right. All right. So
To,
now,
to, ra- to
yeah,
rain down on myself.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. To rain down on myself and
Yes. And all concerned
all concerned.
as it serves the highest good.
And I put it in the chat, Gary.
Great.
Oh,
Perfect.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do is I want you to think of something that you said to somebody in whatever way you said it that you feel bad about. And let me know when you're ready. And then we're going to do this through all together. Okay. All right. So everybody repeat with me. I ask that the energies I put out this day
I ask that the
The
energies I put out
energies I put out this day
be converted to golden light substance
be
be
converted to
converted to
golden light
golden.
substance,
to rain down on myself and all concerned
to rain down on myself and all concerned
as it serves the highest good.
as it serves the highest good.
And just see what you feel. Anybody want to share what they felt?
That's guilty.
Good, good.
I
Anybody?
I wanted
Yeah.
to share that rain down on myself. I love those words because have you ever noticed when it rains, like everything just gets calm and like all the plants are just being watered. It's just like everything slows down. So I felt like, that's a really good analogy.
Yeah, and I often feel it like a showering of light, of
Mm,
golden light on me.
mm.
And I see in the chat, Keely, you mentioned Ho'oponopono, and that's a similar idea, a different focus, but a similar idea. There, you're using the phrase, I am sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. This, in my mind, is a little more focused, but they're both excellent. Okay, now we're going to go the reverse. We talked about putting energy or thoughts or words out towards other people. What about the energies, the thoughts we directed ourselves? As this is similar to the forgiveness exercise, but with a slightly different point of view. Instead of forgiving ourselves, what we want to do is clear ourselves. How many times have you sat there and said, damn it, I screwed it up? Or I should have done this. What's wrong with me? Or how come? Why can't I do this right? And 1,000 variations of that. That sound familiar? Yes, sir. I would. I've done it many, many times. So this technique is a very simple one. This time, you're going to use again your higher self, but you're going to say to your higher self, I ask that the energies, we'll write this into the chat. I ask that the energies I've directed at myself that were not of the highest good be cleared, released, and set free now. And we're going to be able to clear ourselves that way. And we're going to do this twofold. The first fold is we're going to do it, you're going to do it. And then we're going to do it again, and I'm going to augment the clearing by cleansing each of you at the same time. Okay? So, Tim, you ready to write this one down?
All right, say it slowly.
Yeah. I ask that the energies I've directed at myself that were not of the highest good be cleared, released, and set free now. I lost your audio, Tim.
Released and set free now?
Yes.
Let me know if I got that.
Yep. Great.
Perfect.
Okay. So everybody, I'm going to ask you to do this. You don't have to think of any things that you've said to yourself. We just take it for granted. And what I'd like you to do is just repeat with me this phrase.
And do you want us on mute and so that it doesn't hear, or?
No, I'm going to do it afterwards. So it's fine. You can leave everybody open.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. Everybody repeat with me. I ask that the energies I put out this day.
I asked.
I'm
I
sorry.
ask that the energy.
Sorry, guys. I screwed up. I ask that the energies I directed at myself.
I ask
Ask
that the energy
that
I direct at myself
that were not of the highest good
that
were not of the highest good
be cleared, released,
be
and
cleared, released, and set free.
Is released and set free.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay. And just sit there with it. See how it feels. Okay. How does that feel?
Relaxing.
I like that one. I like that one
Yeah.
best.
Good. All right.
Mhm.
All right. Excellent. No, it's funny. I haven't been working the screen. Now I see Elizabeth is online too. Elizabeth, how do you feel?
She can't unmute herself, but I think
Oh.
I think I heard in the background she feels good.
Okay. Keely, how about you?
It's okay.
Okay, good. So here's what we're going to do now.
Oh.
I am going to do the same clearing on each of you. So you're going to release, you're going to repeat the phrase again, okay? And then I'm going to add my energies to give you a real cleansing. So you get a little extra bonus for attending tonight. Sound good to everybody?
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Okay, good. So I'd like you guys to lead. Just speak the statement that we've written into the chat, and then I'll come in when I'm ready.
I'm just going to have us all do it quietly, right? On mute. Okay, Gary?
Fine.
So on the count of 1, 2, 3, we do it?
Yes.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, everybody has done it? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, since you've set it up, I'm going to do a clearing on each of you all at the same time. So actually, Tim, you may want to mute. Well, no, don't mute me. I'll be okay. All right. Here we go. Oh. Oh, 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 All right.
Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome. I just want to check in one more time. How did everybody feel about that? Could you feel the change or the releasing the energy?
Yes.
Tim? Fabulous. Keely, did it work?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Okay. Yin, you still there?
Yes, it feels really good. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Gary, my back cracked.
Hey, all right. That's a first. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for being a part of this program. I hope the tools that I offered are helpful to you. And as I said earlier, by all means, reach out if you have questions, you want to tell me what you experienced. And if you'd like to work with me in person, give me a call. The information is in the chat. You can call, text, email. I'll answer.
All right, thanks so much, Gary. And I just wanted to give you a little plug or promotion. Every time you have a session with Gary, you feel relaxed, calm, uplifted. It doesn't matter where you are in the country or in the world. Gary can do a session with you over the phone, over Zoom, but mostly over the phone or in person. He has offices in Westbury, New York, as well as an office in Port Washington, New York. That he shares with Dr. Mary's Chiropractic. For those of you who are not in the chat, his telephone number is 516 640 0397. That's 516 640 0397. And you could always learn more about Gary in his website, www.thepowerisyou.com. That is ThePowerisYou.com. Gary, is there anything kind of like promotion that you want to do or share for anybody who's watching this recording or attending this?
Yes. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for reminding me on that. Yeah. What I offer is normally my sessions are $125 for an individual session, and I do a package for $440 of 4 sessions, which saves you $15 a session. For this group and anybody who watches online, for your first session, the 125 is crossed out, and now we're going to do it at 95. So this will give you a chance at a discounted rate to experience what I can do for you. And if you like it, we'll go from there. But either way, it's a thank you for watching, for listening, and hopefully I'll see you. I would very much look forward to working with anybody who's open to this kind of method. So thanks for the opportunity, Tim. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Gary.
Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
See you soon.
Have a great night. You
Yes.
too.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.